Grandes séries, grandes estreias.
Did you see that?
O AXN oferece os melhores conteúdos para que os possas ver comodamente quando quiseres. Procura todas as nossas séries disponíveis nesta plataforma e descobre a emoção do AXN.
Here we go.
E agora?
Is everyone ready?
Hi, I'm Scott Thompson. And welcome to Postmortem.
I love being on Hannibal, but let's face it, my character Jimmy Price is not exactly the most important guy in the show. But I found a way to remedy that. I've hijacked Hannibal's office to give myself more screen time. Oh, and of course to talk about the show, because apparently that's why we're all here. We're here with Bryan Fuller, the creator of Hannibal, and you just joined us mid-discussion. We were talking about crossing the Atlantic on the Queen Mary. And, right?
Right, funny enough.
What made you decide to do this show? Because you've never done anything so dark. What drew you to this?
Yeah, I had been such a fan of the character from Silence of the Lambs was my first exposure. Actually, from Manhunter was the first exposure.
Right.
And I was just intrigued with a gentleman cannibal. There was so much fun to what he does as somebody who eats the rude, that there was inherent comedy to be had. Because I see this as a very, very, very dark comedy.
It is a very dark, pitch black comedy.
Yes, yes.
Are you obsessed with people that are rude?
There's a societal shift in power with rudeness.
In what way?
Your civility can be taken away from you in one fell swoop of nastiness.
Do you think we live in a nasty culture? Like people are ruder than they've ever been?
Technology is impairing empathy.
Oh, I agree with you. So all this is what is draining us of our empathy.
Yeah, it's a social shield, and we are not interacting. We're not seeing the impact of our interactions because our face is buried in an iPhone.
Is there an element of supernatural to the show, or is it all just in Will's head?
It's all in Will's head. I think we have to keep the show grounded in a certain reality, so there is interpretation.
Right.
But, for instance, in the first season, we had that guy strung up with the angel wings, and it was like, how did he do that?
Yeah.
The serial killers are fantastical. It's a heightened reality.
They are.
They're not real serial killers.
It's not. You're not meant to really look it through and go, this couldn't actually happen.
Right, because if you did, then you wouldn't watch the show.
So you just ignore reality that way.
Yeah, because the reality of it, I think the reality of it is covered so well on other shows, other crime procedural shows where women are frequently raped and murdered, and that's something I don't want to do on this show. I find it really difficult to derive any sort of entertainment from rape.
Right.
I think it's hard for me to make that entertainment, whereas if you flay somebody's back and turn them into an angel or
that's entertaining?
It is outside of reality. So, and I have this...
It happens less than rape, I guess.
Yes.
Flaying.
Cello Man are probably less, although it is, a penetration issue on some level.
So let's talk about Will's journey.
Will has a really wild ride. In the first season, we saw him compromised. So Hannibal took advantage of that and led him down a very dark path and incarcerated him for the crimes that Hannibal himself committed, but pinned them on Will. So now in season 2, we see Will, who has a much clearer head about what is happening and is a little scrappier with how he's going to catch Hannibal. And we get to see how far he takes that and how far he has to sacrifice himself to catch the man that he needs to bring to justice.
You can't tell people how this season will end.
No, but it's going to be a bloodbath. Like, it ends poorly for most.
But no Jimmy blood.
No Jimmy blood.
I mean, I could maybe cut my finger or something.
Right, well, stub a toe or a peg.
Could I slip on a peg?
Yes.
Break your mother's back, isn't that the old saying?
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. This is my first time I've learned how to thank people. Thank you very much, Bryan Fuller.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being here, and this has been another episode of Postmortem with Bryan Fuller, the creator.
See you next time.